Listen, I didn't age as fast as you did.
I'm full speed ahead.
Yeah, he's high speed, low drag.
He's high speed go all the time. It don't make any difference.
All right, Mechanicsville crew, we're here today to talk to the infamous, the famous Mike Boyles, the owner and driver of the Charlie Brown, the good old Charlie Brown, the 57 Bel Air that you saw in some of the action that we captured at the Stick Shift Nationals last weekend. We're here at his shop. We're checking out his shop today, and we wanted to just take a minute here and talk with Mike and get the rundown about the car. Mike, how long have you been racing?
Well, I started racing when I got out of the Army in 1968, but I drove a car for Larry Waller.
Yes, sir.
And all that little while, and then in 1971, I started driving that car for Lyle, Charlie Brown car. And then in 77, I bought it, yeah.
Okay, that was Lyle Barnett?
No, Lyle Everson.
Everson, okay.
Now in 78, I had to drive Ronnie Barnett's car and won a championship with it. But I was like 5th in the points when I started driving his car, but I blew both motors and I didn't have anything left. And he called me and wanted to know if I wanted to drive his car for a percentage. And so that's what I did.
Okay, and then you wound up with the car in
77. Yeah,
Okay.
I got it and got just one motor with it, and it blowed, and I didn't have any to fix. Didn't have the money to fix one, and all. Fulton was doing them in, and he stayed covered up all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be Gene Fulton.
Gene Fulton, yes.
All right. How many? Let's say how many iterations of the good old Charlie Brown have you been through? Is it the same car as you had it originally, or what have you changed about the vehicle?
It's the same car. It's had like 3 frames under it, several front ends, ball joints, control arms, and stuff like that. And it was started out with a 12-bolt Chevrolet under it, and then a Dana rear end, and now it's got a Ford 9-inch.
Okay, all right. And as far as the powertrain, what are you running in it right now?
It's the 302 with a 283 crankshaft in it, out of my 283 motor. All my 283s just wore out, and you can buy parts cheaper for a 4-inch more than you can for getting one for a 280. There's just not no demand for dome pistons for a 283.
Yeah. Okay. And we, prior to getting on camera here, we were talking about some of the things that you've done, the history of just you as far as being a drag racer, and you pulled this off the shelf, Bristol Dragway. It's an illustrated history, or the images of the history of Bristol Dragway, and lo and behold, on page 95 we see the history of the good old Charlie Brown here. Multiple time champion, IHRA champion. You're 8-time?
8-time champion.
8-time, and you're also a world record holder.
Yeah, I were back when I run IHRA. I held a record when I quit running.
Okay, as far as that class.
Yeah, in that class. Yeah, that was with a 283.
Yeah, and the classifications for some of the guys that don't, guys and girls that don't know, they classified the cars based on cubic inch and drive
and weight. Yeah.
And weight. Yeah.
And they had to put it. He added 170 pounds. Like mine was like a 12-pound class plus 170 pounds for the driver, and it didn't matter that it was board 60 over. It was 283. That's what come out in.
Okay, and then that gave you the letter designation.
Yeah, right.
Of
and
the
H, the letter on my car now is for a 302. I run I before, but it runs H with the 302.
Okay, all right.
And that's in case I run into the CCRA race, run into Leanne and Tabitha's race.
Okay, that's the Carolina Class Racers Association. Okay, yeah. But your main focus is the classic gear jammers, correct?
I run them, and then I go to Elk Creek every once in a while and run with the stick shift people up there. Not real often, but just when the notion hits.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the car's running.
Yeah. It's run real good. The driver leaves a lot to be desired, but the car is run really good.
Well, I was witness to a time slip this past weekend that you were on it. You had a 001.
Yeah, I did one run. I needed it more runs.
Yeah, but you.
I drove good on the second chance race. I was way late on the first race, and I was just trying to be careful, not realize I was getting spotted, and it's so easy to leave early. You anticipate it, or you get hyped up. I don't know what the word is, but you really gung ho.
Oh yeah. Yeah, get that green light fever.
Yeah, you want to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, some folks that looked at the racing footage from last weekend, they would have noticed that the cars left at different times. Can you kind of explain that to?
Well, my car weighs 3,500 pounds, and it can't run with a 2,900 pound Chevy too. So we dial what we think it'll go. It's basically a bracket race, is
Yes,
all
sir.
it is. But the thing about it, everybody in these classes has to drive them and let the clutch up and leave a line. You can't let go of a button, and you can't have a crossover or a delay or anything like that. That, you know, other classes do, but we just run. It's really like old style racing.
Yeah. Now, when you refer to the bracket racing, what we're speaking of is that the times or the tree is bracketed based on what he puts on the windshield of the anticipated time that he feels like the car will do. So if there's a time difference between the two cars that line up at that particular race, the faster car will have to wait and sit still while the slower car leaves first.
Yeah, and most time it's you either win or lose in the first 60 feet.
Yes.
Reaction time is mostly what does it.
Because the timing difference, with all things being perfect,
Yeah.
if you ran the number that's put on the car and your opponent runs the number that's put on his car, and you have similar or like reaction times, the time difference should
should get there exactly at the
should put
same
the
time.
cars at
Yeah,
the
if you
same
have
time at
both
the
of you
finish
had
line.
01 and both of you run off of whatever time you dial, you should theoretically. It
Yeah.
don't work like that, but that's what it's meant to be.
Yeah, that's where that margin of victory down at the
Yeah,
bottom comes
yeah,
in.
yeah.
Comes in. Yeah, yeah.
I
it
lost
is.
by 8 thousandths on Friday night,
Mm-hmm.
and of course I was late the first run on, and then I lost by 2 thousandths on that last run.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a heartbreak.
Yeah.
It's heartbreak.
I have fun, and
Oh.
I sold a few T-shirts, and
Yeah.
won a little money, and it's close to home.
Yes.
Worst
yes.
thing that happened, I blew the trailer tire out going over and a trailer tire coming back. I got to drive it up in the trailer. That's worth something.
Amen. When you come home in one piece,
Yeah.
that's a good thing, and you make a little money and you have fun.
Yeah.
That is really what we
Yeah.
strive to do, is just have fun with it.
At my age, every day's a good day.
Yes, sir.
Now, I might cuss and fuss a little bit, but every day's a good day.
Okay, we came up here to shop. How long have you been in this location here?
27 years.
27 years. You do all kinds of
No,
automotive
I do
repair?
little. I got an aneurysm. Doctor won't let me. They tell me I can't work. I
Okay.
told them that's not an option.
Yeah.
And if I told them about my racing, they would have a duck fit.
Oh yeah, I bet. Well, we'll keep the channel address away from them.
They don't look. The doctors don't look at drag racers.
But you got a couple of interesting cars here in the shop here that you're working on. You want to start right here in front of us and let everybody know what you're working on here?
Well, I'm working on this 56 Thunderbird. It's been sitting for a long time. Been sitting so long the plugs was rusted and fouled out in it, and the carburetor choke was hanging. Had to reset the timing and set the points and all. And I'm just getting it running where her husband died and she left the car sitting, and she wants to get it out and go to pilot or some car shows. And so we're just getting it running where it'll do right. And I think I've got it, but I wanted to crank it one more time in the morning because she's having trouble with it going dead when she cranked it. Like it sit a week or so.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And then this old Chevelle, they drug it in here. The guy that was working on it died, and didn't have no carburetor or anything on it. I got it running, and I just got through checking the brakes. And this Camaro, I've had about a month. I had a guy order rear end, a 9-inch Ford rear end, and all. Well, the rear end come in its wrong length. So sent it back and got the right length rear end, and then the axles wouldn't fit, so we had to round good axles. So.
Oh, okay.
And then one of them wouldn't fit, so I got Randy Butner to cut the end off of it.
All right. And Randy Butner, he's another fellow racer and garage owner, and we'll probably look at seeing him in the future.
Yeah, you need to talk to him. He does my engines.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Is there anything you want to say to the folks that are watching that, in particular, that would keep them drawn into the motorsports arena?
I just want to thank all of them for caring about it, and a lot of people pulls for me, and I have sold a lot of T-shirts, and I appreciate what people does and
Yes,
all.
sir.
And I hope that drag racing will come back a little bit more. It's come back more than it was during the COVID, and all. But I'm hoping it'll keep coming back now. We've been having good fields in the gear jammers. We're averaging about 40 cars a race, so that's pretty good for us.
That is really good.
Yeah.
That is really good.
And we got a good bunch of people. I like all of them, and I don't like them when I race them, but I like them the rest of the time.
All right. And you're a Hall of Fame member?
Yeah.
Okay. Wanted to pull that out here. We're talking to another living legend, a North Carolina Drag Racing Hall of Fame member.
I'm a member of the International Hot Rod Drag Racing Association.
And the IHRA.
Yeah.
This man, I consider to be a living legend, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, the one that's here in our hometown, the King, North Carolina, Mike Boyles, the driver and owner of the good old Charlie Brown. Give him a like, subscribe, share this video, keep the legend going for Mechanicsville and for the good old Charlie Brown. Check in the description for the link for our merchandise, and they can always see you to get a t-shirt.
Oh,
right?
yeah, they can see me and
see you at any event to get a t-shirt.
And I got 2 decals on my trailer I'm gonna put on my car, but I got to get all the dust and dirt off first.
All right. Well, we appreciate you supporting the Mechanicsville.
Well, I appreciate what y'all do. See,
Yes, sir.
this will help drag racing. Anything like this will help drag racing. It's got to get out to people that don't know about it and all that. And
Yes, sir.
And you know, if just 1 out of 3 is interested, that's worth something. Or 1 out of 10,
Yes, sir.
that's worth
Yes, sir.
something. You know.
And check the link in the description for our merchandise. We'll see you later.
Thank y'all.
Saved by the Bell.
Ain't that something? That is some kind.